There's this idea from Carl Jung, although I'm sure it's been said in many forms before him in like ancient Eastern religions and traditions, but it's this idea of like there's this whole idea that is now pervasive in the Western society as well of like you need to not react to things. You need to get to a place where you're not expressing emotions. You need to get to a place where nothing affects you. You need to get to a place where you're fine with everything. And it's quite wild because if you're thinking about the best way to control a population, if you're thinking about the best way for population control, to control the masses, it would be to convince them, to gaslight them into believing that they should not react to things. They should not be at all expressive of their emotions, that they should be, it's almost like a shame of their emotions. They should be ashamed of their emotions to the point that they don't express them, that they suppress them, that they just let things happen, good or bad. Good or bad, that's what they want. That's what they want you to be. It reeks of like a control. It reeks of a control. How can you know? Because everything is the product of your mind. Everything is the product of your mind. Even this idea of, all of my life is just a reflection of me. All of the outside world is a reflection of me. Therefore, if I react to something, or if I have a negative emotion towards something, or I think that something's bad or good, it's actually not. It's actually fine. It's just your reaction to it that's bad or good or whatever. Bro, how can you say this if like say say I'm looking at say I'm looking at some woman getting raped or some child getting beaten. Oh, your reactivity to it. Oh, your expression. Oh, the fact that you think it's right or wrong. Oh, that's just you. Oh, that's just you. You're just reacting to you. It's actually not right or wrong what's happening in the material world. What if it is right and wrong? Things are right and wrong in the material world. How do you know that your mind is telling you the truth about this? Because this is another idea from your mind. All of everything that you've ever thought is an idea from your mind. Do you really want non-expression, or do you want freedom of expression? Do you want to express without guilt, without shame? Do you want to think out loud? Just be truly your authentic self without guilt or shame? Do you want to, like, when somebody cuts you off in traffic? Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to let your emotions get to the point where you're now making your life worse. You're tracking them down. You're like giving them the finger, instigating them. They're getting out of their car, all this stuff. But like, you can react. I mean, obviously, I think you can react. It's human. It's human. It's like this idea of everything in the outside world is only a reflection of you. Therefore, if you react or have any negative emotions towards anything, it's only towards you. The outside world is none of your concern or something like that, or you don't have to do anything. You should just let things happen. And it's like, nah. You know what I mean? Like if everything's fine, if you actually think about this, if you actually got to this place, like if you actually got to this place that people say you're supposed to get to, that this is the ideal, I mean, you would be fine with everything. Imagine a person that's just fine with everything. Is that any existence? Are we here to be fine with everything? Are we here to just basically hmm, and just be like, this is an extreme, like just non-expression, non-reactivity, being fine with everything, because now you've reached some point in your mind where you're fine with everything about yourself. This is what you're supposed to believe. This is what they'll lead you to believe. Oh, if you're fine with everything in the material world, if you're just zenned out, nothing affects you, you don't react to anything. Oh, now you've reached a point where you're so good within yourself. Okay, but this person is, I would say that this person has, their soul has died. Their human soul has officially died. What, it seems to me like, what are they? Why are you here then? If you're just basically numbed out. Like people say there's just a peace and a bliss and all this stuff. Do you really just want to feel like peace and bliss all the time? Is that why we're here? Is the reason that we're here to just be peace and bliss all the time? You have to always consider that this is in fact, this whole ideal of peace and bliss and non-reactivity and the outside world not existing and it only a reflection of you. You have to, if you are being honest with yourself, you have to always consider the fact that this is indeed another thought, idea in your mind, ideal in your mind, that's stemming from a place of, you're afraid to express yourself. You're afraid to be who you are. You're ashamed to be who you are. You're ashamed to freely embody the good and bad parts of yourself in life. You're afraid to put your neck out for people, to say that things are right and wrong. You're afraid to have a firm stance anywhere. You're afraid to have people, throw shade your way, hate you and love you and all this stuff. If you're purely yourself, if you just express yourself and you're free to express yourself, people are going to react in extreme ways to you, you know? If you're fully expressive of all the range of emotions that you feel, I mean, I just, or even not even just emotions, but fully expressive of all the things that you think, all the ideas and thoughts in your head, you know, then people are going to react in extreme ways to you. The only way that people don't react extremely to a person is if basically you're just a flat line. Think about it. If you wanted to control the most amount of people in the easiest way, you would want everybody to be gaslighted into believing that they should be flat lines, that they should just be blissed out and peaceful and not care what happens. Because then you can basically just control them. It seems like you could control them pretty easily that way. It's hard to control a population that's they're all so different in their expression and they're all obstinate in their ways and they're all stubborn as hell and they all stand for certain principles and they're all extreme individuals that think differently, and it's a bunch of, at that point, it's a bunch of tribes. It's no longer, you can't control large amounts of people, billions of people, hundreds of millions of people that way. You can't control them that way. What that world will look like is you have like little clans. You'll have like small tribes, small clans, because so many people like think differently. I feel like, you know, but it's a constant. And then I guess the only way that you get people to like, it's constant, just power of mind, power of belief, exerting yourself on other people's minds, impressing yourself on other people's minds, probably. But like, everything, that's the thing that should fuck with all of us, is everything, even nothing is exempt from this one idea, is everything is a product of our mind. So how can we trust our mind? How can you trust your mind, bro? How can you trust your mind? How can you be sure that what you're saying is true? And you just kind of have to, I feel like it's more like you feel it out than anything, but I just don't I don't know, man. I mean, perhaps this is the way, but I just feel like that's when you're suppressed. I know that for a long time I thought like that. I thought any reaction to the outside world, I just need to be completely zenned out, emotionless, non-reactive, stoic, just let things happen around me. Waves crash on the stone. Stone doesn't move. And what was really happening is I was suppressed, though. I was just suppressed, and I was fooling myself into thinking that I didn't feel things and I didn't care about things. I was ashamed to care about things. There is a shame. There is a huge shame of caring about things. Oh, you're not supposed to care, bro. You're not supposed to care. You're not supposed to care, bro. If you care at all, if you react at all, it's weakness. You're not supposed to care. You're just supposed to be like, it's different if that's like a natural state. If stoicism is your natural state, if you've actually maybe, I think a lot of people are fooling themselves into believing that they've reached a natural, organic stoicism where truly nothing like affects them. Truly, that means they don't feel. It's almost like you don't feel emotions. Why would you want to? Can we entertain the fact that a stoic is like somebody who's very shameful of their expression of their emotions? That's a possibility, man. That's a possibility. What if the stoics were like the most ashamed of of expression in their emotions that ever existed? They were just ashamed of themselves. What if there's a deep shame in a stoic? It's possible. It's possible. You know, I'm just not sure about this idea. I'm not sure about this idea. Although I'm not really sure about anything, but I'm not sure about this idea. It doesn't really seem right to me. I mean, if you just follow it logically, oh, you're not supposed to use logic. Do you see what this mind does? Like, how can you want to be free? It's like you want to be free of the mind. You don't want to. What if this is the last, like, what if this is the ultimate gaslight? The ultimate gaslight is to be like, oh, freedom, true freedom and bliss and peace comes when you no longer care or express. When really it's the ultimate, like, shame. That is the ultimate, like, it keeps your mind still under control. It keeps you under control. keeps you shameful. It keeps you guilty. It keeps you down. It keeps you powerless. It keeps you imprisoned. It keeps your soul imprisoned. It keeps your mind imprisoned. You can't be yourself. What if that's like the final boss of like, you know? How can you know? I think freedom is what ultimately people want. You want to be free of, man, I just feel like you want to be free to express, free of shame and guilt, of feeling certain emotions, of expressing yourself, of, sharing your thoughts and ideas and opinions. You just want to be free of that stuff. Not necessarily non-reactive and not care about anything. I mean, just imagine a person like that, bro. They would be boring to be around. Have no opinions. Don't react. Can't react to anything. Can't. You can't get them to react to nothing. Okay. Bye. Yeah, you're not interesting. Oh, you don't react to anything? Oh, you just don't react and you're just non-expressive and everything's like cool with you? All right. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to hang out with you, bro. Yeah, you're not interesting. You know what I mean? And there are people that say, well, this is just another the real the true experience of being non-reactive and non-expression and peace and blissed out. The true experience of that is different from what your mind is concocting. Yes, yes, I know. But anyway, dude, just you can never like just always be wary that your own mind, you cannot trust your own mind. That maybe you kind of have to feel this one out. There is no like once you start to draw any like concepts or anything like that, put any form on it, that's where you start to box yourself in, imprison yourself. Even the you can't feel you can't express negatively, you can't, you know, you can't show emotions, you can't all this stuff, you know. You can't say certain things. You can't like, you know, you offend certain people. You can't call certain people out. You can't call things out that you think are wrong. Oh, they're not wrong though. Oh, they're not wrong though. It's just you. It's just you. People don't like people are not in danger. Like people don't get taken advantage of in the world. You know, people are not suffering in the world. People don't need help in the world. People aren't evil. People aren't like actually doing bad things to other people in this world. They're not like idiots. You can't call people idiots. What if I can call people an idiot, bro? So what? So what? So what? I mean, it's like, it's fun. It's like all this is, gotta be free, man. It's fun. Okay. It's not so bad when you don't take it so seriously, but like, you know, just have fun with it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. This video.